Oh, this is sweet. That's so good. After my ride at Tie Hack, I headed out to Sheep Creek. And to get to Sheep Creek, there's two options. You can park here at a lower trailhead and then bike up the road, or you can head up the 4x4 track. This actually turned out to be a little challenging for my van. It's a little on the large side, and at one point I think I got it up on 3 wheels. I think in my exaltation I thought 2 wheels at the time, but 3 wheels. The video doesn't show it, but the ruts in the track can be quite deep, so if you have a low clearance vehicle, this may not be possible for you. So park at the lower lot and head on up. But if you can make it up, you'll reach an upper trailhead that takes you to Sheep Creek. If you have a van or a truck camper, you could camp up there overnight, no problems. I did that, and then ride. I'm at Sheep Creek. I've got about 2 hours of daylight left, and I don't know if I'm going to do this in 2 hours. It's 12 miles, 1,500 feet of climbing, and I climb pretty slow. But I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to put a light on my back, a light on my bike as a backup. I just brought the van up the 4-wheel drive road. This is the road. This is the easy bit. I've really proved out that the 4-wheel drive on this thing works. And my kind of impromptu leveling is not that level, but it's kind of better than what it was. I kind of stuck it up on some wooden blocks for now. I don't think anybody's going to come up here, so at this point I'm just going to stay up here tonight. I don't know, I might have to adjust. I don't think my van's that level. It's more level than what it was, but it's still not that level. But it's set in the direction where my head is up now in the bed, and the water flows down into the sink, so it's better than the other way. Anyway, let's get to biking. Let's see if I can get what the heck is this called again? Let's see if I can get Sheep Creek and see what that's like. I've got to do this pretty quick. My video wasn't recording. I've just been hitting some just truly fabulous downs. You know what? I may have to abandon this ride tonight and do it again in the morning, in morning light. I'm not riding that one. That just looks a little too sketchy. Now we climb. I'm going to call it quits. Look at that sun. I've got a long way to go. I'm going to come back and do this tomorrow. There's no point taking a risk. This climb is pretty technical. It's going to take a while to come up. So we'll head back for now. You can see this is kind of the climb. It's backcountry, primitive, very rustic. This section's smooth, but there's a lot of rocks, so it's going to add some technical climbing to the trail. We've got creek crossings that we have to do. Here's a creek crossing. I doubt that's actually cyclable. So this is nothing difficult for descending. It's quite tricky keeping your momentum going, climbing this. And we have another creek crossing. Yeah, another thing with turning around and heading back is that the first part of this trail is one of the nicest descents I've ever done. So we're going to have to climb back up it to finish, but it's a nice way to begin. It's going to suck for climbing back at the end. Now we begin to climb a little bit. Actually, we may start climbing most of the way. This one I'm not riding. This looks super sketchy. If you fell off this, it would hurt. Look at that sky. So hazy. Red sky. There's the sun setting through the haze of the smoke from the forest fires to the west of us. That's quite something. It's funny. Seemed like this was downhill for a moment, but it was faster coming the other way, so I think it's uphill. Funny, last time I rode this time I don't feel like riding it. So I shall walk it. And perhaps it's the angle I came at it. This way you set up, the other way you come straight into it from the corner. So this way is easy. The other way is a lot more intimidating. Now we do what is one of the best descents in the wrong direction, going uphill. The light is fading. It's getting very hazy. I think the sun's gone behind the mountain. It's one of the few downhill parts on the uphill. And here we are back at the van for the night. Good morning. So day 2 at Sheep Creek. I'm the only person here today. It's a nice sunny morning and I should have the place to myself by the looks of it. So this is round 2 of Sheep Creek, and this time we're going to actually complete it and see what it's like. Good morning. So I don't have the whole place to myself anymore, but this is Sheep Creek Take 2, the morning run. And we start straight off with downhill. Oh, chipmunks running through. Put my arm pads on today. And some of these aspens get very close. I don't know if I'm attacking it a little harder than yesterday because I know what was up, or if I'm just not awake yet this morning. That seemed a little more ragged. First downhill, it's going to be more. Of course, this being a lollipop loop, I'm going to have to climb all that again. I believe I forgot to press start on my Garmin. Now I need to warm the legs up. And we've got views over the South Park Plain. Mountain behind. Very sweet location. And we're full of aspens around here. Give this area a month and it's going to be a riot of colour. This is where you want to come in the fall. So many aspens. Nice forest dirt through here. Oh yeah. That's a fun downhill, that's a fun descent. Now for a climb again. Another down. Another little up. The stick part of this lollipop is not too bad in either direction. Obviously outbound is the best, but you've got downs then ups again, then another down, and while you're predominantly climbing on the way back, it's not too bad. Little stony, little rock garden through here. Really sweet coming down. This section's a little more technical, although again, pretty straightforward. What you don't have in the way of aspens hitting your arms, you get rocks on the ground. We're coming down to one of the creeks and a super sketchy bridge. I'm not doing that one. We'll walk this and walk that one. This one we should just ride through. So after those runs downhill and the climbs, I need to catch my breath again. We are at good elevation here, so we're going to come off Sheep Creek for a bit, climb up a different way. I can't actually read what that says. One thing I can tell you, so we're going to start the climb now, so I'm going to switch off in a sec. But one thing I can tell you is that this climb is very much a backcountry trail. It's rustic and primitive. In some places you've got a technical rocky climb. Other spots it's kind of dirt, sandy like this. Other parts you're pretty much riding through a grass meadow with little trail. At least from what I saw last night, but nobody likes to watch people climb unless you're a Tour de France follower. So for now, I'll see you when I get some appreciable gain. This is indicative of the trail as you're climbing. I say rustic, I really mean it. Climbing. So many aspens. Can you imagine what this is like in September? Right, we've been climbing for a bit and now looks like we are running down for a meadow. I did pass a couple of hikers telling me that there was a grumpy moose in a meadow. I haven't seen a moose yet. Hopefully it's not here. This looked like quite a good down, but actually it really wasn't. But if I get trampled to death by a moose, you'll have it on video. Is this trail primitive enough? I know I said I wouldn't record again until I got to the top or somewhere interesting. Well, this is interesting. These views are too good not to see. I came up with the title for this video, Sheep Creek, fantastic backcountry adventure for primitive trail lovers. How about that one? Does that work? I know it's kind of long, but it describes the trail. It's a double trail where, look at this. See the streams? She's got a meadow, water flowing down through here. I wouldn't be surprised if there's otters in here. It's also a type of place where you get trampled by a moose, or mauled by a bear, and probably not found for several days. Doesn't that reassure you? It is very wild back here. So I slept in the van last night. It was so dark. I wouldn't have been able to see a thing outside. I could hear animals around me, and I actually woke up to something scampering along on the roof of the van. It's probably a squirrel, but still, when you wake up with something patching around on the roof of your van, you have to wonder what it is. I'm nearing the top. Have time to look at the view. This is where the trail just about connects up with the road, but that's quite magnificent. That's high up there, very high. So we're at the top, and we're currently on the road section before we reconnect with Sheep Creek. The top actually undulates for quite a while before we start the descent proper. So I suspect there'll be some down, some up, some down, some up before we get into Sheep Creek. So we'll follow the road for now. The road is actually pretty gnarly. I probably just made it down there quicker than a Jeep would. We're still on the road section, and while we got quite a bit of road, dirt road, I haven't seen anybody on it. As I say, it's fairly rough in places, and we get to scenery. Well, we get to scenery like this. Oh, we got quite a water crossing here. I don't know how deep it is. Maybe getting. Oh, okay. No wet feet, but the depth was up to my pedals. Oh, magnificent view. I thought we were going to get back onto Sheep Creek here, but we're still on the road. So I guess we've still got a way to go until we actually get to the creek. Now I just overshot the turn. I was climbing up the road because it's very easy to miss the trail. So the road here takes a bend and starts to climb. It's an easy climb. But what we want to look for is this. Trail 645. This is what we want to descend on. So we want to, if you're climbing at this point, you've gone the wrong way. You want to be descending. So this should give us single track all the way back now. So this is Sheep Creek, actually following the creek. Again, very narrow trail. So a little loose in places here. So literally when you got 6 inches to work with, gotta be a little careful, otherwise you could end up in the creek. I just go over that rock. This is beautiful. Oh, actually onto forest dirt now. Sweet. Whoa. Okay. Pick up the speed of the forest dirt and then plough straight to some rocks. Oh, this is sweet. That's so good. That was so good. Okay, I was going to take 1 star off for the road and drop it to a 4-star rating, but that may be redeeming itself. We've got a lot more of this. If it carries on like this, this is going to put it into the upper echelon of my all-time favourite trails. That was awesome. Ooh. Now that is what you call single track. A little climb. Okay, we got pulled away from the creek for a bit. Did a little climb. Get flattened out. But I think we're gonna start to pick up the descent again. Oh, that was awesome. You kind of felt like a Jedi Master coming down there because the single tracks are kind of so narrow. You can't really see what you're riding, so you just kind of go with it. Let speed be your friend. Any rock you hit, you just carry. Okay, quick breather before the next section. This one is a little stonier through here. Little climb again. That's not a bad view. I keep on stopping for these views, but you gotta stop. We just got like a whole 360 view. Doesn't get much better than this, apart from real high alpine cliff riding or peak riding. We'll continue down. Oh, I think we're back on the lollipop. Are we back on the lollipop? Let's just see. Yep, we are. So that was actually Sheep Creek. And then we continue back on the lollipop, back to the van. That was really a nice trail, but it was over so quick. So it's not going to be one of my favourite trails because it's all too short, but that was a real joy. It was a real joy to come out here, find the trail and descend it and see the views. Back into the meadow. We continue our climb up through the aspens again. Should try to make it back here in the fall. Oh, yeah. I said yesterday, there's something about coming into this at this angle. Makes it feel really sketchy. Not a good start. Falling off the trail. Trail is narrow, doesn't take much to miss it. Momentary lapse of concentration. This is the last downhill before the last climb back up to the van. Again, got super tight trees into the trail. A little bit of sweetness before the end. Now we have the final climb up. Hello. We are back at the van. So that was Sheep Creek. I rode up 12-mile trail, took the road back down Sheep Creek, and I give the ride probably 4 out of 5 stars. It's 4.5 out of 5. It's a very sweet descent on Sheep Creek, over a bit too soon, but it is what it is. But the time you're on it, it is just spectacular, great fun. There's some nice downs on the other trails, but the way the trail is configured, you do end with a significant climb at the end, which if you're tired is a little hard, but there's some, you know, undulation in there. So you got good down to begin, you got a long climb, you got the road, which is kind of a negative, but it was very quiet, good views. You've got the meadows, you got the mountains and the peaks around you, and then you got the Sheep Creek descent, which is spectacular. So if you're in the area, particularly in the fall, this will be spectacular in the fall. I would say it's worth the effort to come out here and find it. It's rustic. I know there's lots of questions at times, you know, where can you ride that's not really super busy at these times of COVID? Because anything along the front range is really busy at the moment. The only people I saw in the entire ride were 2 hikers, and I passed them twice because it's a lollipop. I saw them on one part and then passed them again at the end, and they were walking through. Beyond that, I didn't see another soul out here. It's a quiet trail system. It's primitive. If you like primitive trails, this one is for you. Anyway, thank you for staying along. Thank you for staying with me until the end of the video. Like, subscribe, press the bell icon, all that. See you on another trail. Time for a cup of tea.